In November 2025, the BTS community found itself standing at a crossroads unlike anything it had experienced before. While the ARMY had survived controversies, panic cycles, emotional highs, and global milestones over the years, this particular moment carried a different energy, heavier, more complicated, and deeply introspective. The center of it all? Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, whose every move, silence, and appearance during this period became fuel for intense discussions across online platforms. The month had been filled with headlines, stalking attempts on his home, dating rumors sparked by unverified photos, emotional live streams that had fans both worried and comforted, and debates about privacy and boundaries that spread across Reddit, X, TikTok, and regional forums like Pan, Nate, and the Co. As each new moment unfolded, the community found itself pulled in two directions, wanting to protect him fiercely, but also wanting more of him. IT was this collision of desire and concern that ignited the fandom debate now dominating November's conversations. Jungkook is no stranger to viral attention. His presence online, even during military service, has always been strong enough to captivate millions. But this time, the discussions weren't about music charts, performances, or achievements. Instead, they revolved around something far more delicate: the emotional weight placed on him by fans, and how that weight was beginning to fracture the unity ARMY had always prided itself on. Some fans argued that everyone was overreacting. Others insisted that people weren't reacting enough. And in the center stood Jungkook, silent, vulnerable, human, navigating a world that views him both as an icon and as a young man simply trying to live his life. This is the story of how those debates began, why they matter, and what they reveal about the future of fandom culture. The spark was small, but the reaction was not on a quiet evening. Jungkook went live on Weverse. It wasn't meant to be a dramatic moment. He cooked, talked casually, played music, laughed to himself, and occasionally fell silent. To many fans, it was comforting, a window into his everyday life that felt uniquely intimate. For others, however, something felt off. They noticed moments where he seemed tired, distracted, or overly quiet. They scrutinized his tone, his body language, even the way he blinked. Within minutes, discussion threads began forming. Is Jungkook okay? He seems mentally exhausted. He doesn't look happy. Maybe we're overthinking it? Stop projecting your fears onto him. The live stream had lasted hours, filled with ordinary moments, but fans analyzed every frame. Screenshots circulated. TikTok edits romanticized or dramatized expressions that lasted less than a second. Reddit debates stretched into thousands of comments, with users arguing whether concern was warranted or parasocial paranoia was taking over. Some fans felt guilty for worrying. Others felt guilty for not worrying, and through it all, Jungkook never indicated anything was wrong. He simply existed, living, cooking, smiling, thinking, while millions projected onto him their hopes, fears, expectations, and emotional needs. This live stream, innocuous on the surface, became the catalyst for what would unfold over the next several weeks. A fandom conversation about boundaries, emotional dependency, and the unspoken pressure placed upon idols who try to share their humanity. One of the most controversial terms that emerged from these discussions was the label overprotective ARMY. It didn't refer to fans who defended Jungkook against hate that had always been part of fandom culture. Instead, it referred to fans who monitored his emotional expression closely, believed they could interpret his mental state better than he could, criticized others for not caring enough, demanded HYB intervene even when Jungkook himself expressed no distress, attacked fans who simply enjoyed the live stream without worry. Some fans argued that this protectiveness came from love, a desire to shield him from exhaustion, stress, or harm. They cited concerns over recent reports of stalking, repeated break-in attempts at his home, and the increasingly high pressures of military schedules. Their argument was, "We've watched him struggle before. We just don't want him to suffer again." Other fans, however, saw this behavior as controlling and unhealthy. They highlighted comments where some ARMY insisted Jungkook looked sad, drained, or unstable. Despite no evidence beyond fleeting expressions, their counterargument was, "This isn't protection. This is projection." The debate wasn't new. Parasocial relationships had always been a delicate part of idoldom, but November's discussions brought the issue to the forefront in a more urgent, unavoidable way. People began questioning, where is the line between concern and intrusion? When does love become pressure? Are fans supporting Jungkook or trapping him with their expectations? Is the idol allowed to simply be tired without fans assuming the worst? Do fans realize that excessive worry can be as suffocating as hate? Questions that had always lingered beneath the surface now erupted in full force, dividing the fandom into factions, each insisting they were acting out of love. At the same time these emotional debates were unfolding, another layer of tension burst into the spotlight, one that had been building for months. Several incidents had pushed fans into a state of heightened sensitivity. Multiple stalking attempts at Jungkook's home, a new investigation involving a Japanese woman who tried to break into his residence, rumors and viral photos allegedly showing Jungkook with a woman in public, people selling supposed Jungkook sightings online, paparazzi-style videos taken without consent. These events created a climate of fear and paranoia. Fans felt Jungkook's personal safety was at risk. Some felt his emotional health was being threatened. Others believed he was becoming a victim of obsessive public consumption. The issue wasn't just that dangerous individuals existed. Sadly, celebrities, especially in Korea, have always faced such risks. The issue was the relentless cycle. Rumor panic, defense, overreaction, silence, new rumor panic again. Each rumor or incident amplified the emotional intensity of the fandom debates. Concern turned into hypervigilance. Hypervigilance turned into misinterpretation. Misinterpretation turned into policing. If Jungkook smiled, some fans said he was masking pain. If he was quiet, others said he must be depressed. If he relaxed, some worried he was too stressed to speak. If he spoke freely, others said he was hiding something. The most painful irony, the more he shared, the more the paranoia grew. This cycle made fans question something fundamental. Have we become part of the problem? By mid-November, the fandom was visibly split into two major groups, though most fans existed somewhere in the middle point one. The emotional group, these fans argued from the heart. Their concerns centered around Jungkook's well-being, safety, stress levels, and emotional vulnerability. They believed live stream behavior equals emotional state, online worry is a form of protection, sensitivity is necessary, silence from the company is suspicious, other fans are too cold or too insensitive to them. Jungkook wasn't just a superstar. He was a beloved figure worth worrying about, someone whose every expression meant something deeper. Point two. The rational group, these fans argued from logic and respect for boundaries. Their stance was that Jungkook is allowed to be tired, fans cannot diagnose or psychoanalyze him, excessive fear creates a toxic atmosphere, projecting emotions onto him is harmful, privacy violations are the real danger, not his live stream behavior. They felt that emotional fans were unintentionally infantilizing Jungkook, turning every small moment into a psychological event, where most fans actually stood somewhere in between. Most fans loved him deeply, worried in normal amounts, enjoyed the live stream, disliked toxic rumor cycles, supported privacy and mental health, understood he was human, and jumped to conclusions. But the loudest voices online, often emotional ones, created the illusion of polarization, and this polarization became the core of the November 2025 tension.